Hi, and welcome to The Current, the official podcast of Riverfront Federal Credit Union, where we'll share our insights and experience to help you achieve your financial goals. So sit back, relax, and get ready to dive into the current. Welcome to episode 13. My name is Joel. I'm here with my co-hosts Sam and Tony. Sam, how you doing, Tony?
Good, how are you?
Good. Joel, what's going on? Oh, I'm doing good. And we're also here with President and CEO of Riverfront, Tim McLeod. How's it going, Tim?
Going good. It is wonderful, Joel.
Awesome. We're also joined by Nick, our Operations and Community Engagement Administrator / the person with the longest title in Riverfront.
That was really well done, but thank you for having me, Joel.
Awesome. Today, we're diving into an important community-focused conversation on mental health awareness. We're honored to be joined by Cindy. Cindy, you're going to have to help me out here. Cindy Quinter,
Yes.
and the Executive Director of NAMI Berks County. And Vito, once again, you're going to have to help me out here, buddy. Vito Graneri, Office Manager of NAMI Berks. Plus, we'll be talking about Riverfront's upcoming bingo event, which is raising money to support NAMI Berks County and their mission. But before we start, Tim, what you got to say for us today, Tim?
Well, you know, we're always looking for a community partner that we can move towards or help them move towards their mission, goals, and success. And we figured out quite a while ago the best thing that we can do is to help raise money because everybody needs money to make their engine run. So we've kind of taken that under our process, and we've been very successful in doing that. I don't know how long, Tony, have we been doing it now? A couple of years in this format.
What, 2 years or so?
2 years,
Maybe three. I think it's our third year. We're going on.
Could be
It's
third
been
year.
our third year.
Third year. You're right. And so we've kind of adopted that as our mission, our community driven mission, if you will. And we feel that it's very successful, and it helps us engage in the community and being then able to provide what we do for our members and potential members here at the credit union. And the bigger thing is that we also get to help nonprofits complete their mission. So their long-winded version of that.
Oh, that's perfect. So, NAMI, Nick, how did you find NAMI and how did everything go about? Because I know not everybody knows about them, and I'm sure you guys are always looking for, hey, we're here.
Absolutely.
So, Nick, tell us how you found them, and then we'll move to Cindy and Vito and find out their information.
Sure. So NAMI, we'll go with NAMI here.
NAMI, have I been saying that wrong this entire time?
Yeah.
It depends on where you're from. It can be NAMI or NAMI.
You go both ways. All right.
Just trying to help out the
NAMI?
audience there.
Yeah.
NAMI, okay. NAMI it is.
But yeah, I found out about them through our COO, Jamie D'Annunzio. She and I were having a really valuable conversation about mental health. And she had heard about NAMI having a possible chapter in Berks County. So I said, say no more. I'm on it. I want to research. I want to find out. This sounds like something that I really want to learn about, and that I have a lot of close personal ties to because I've lost some friends due to their mental health. So I reached out to NAMI. I did some research, found them online, and reached out, and we set up a Zoom call. And then literally in the first 5 to 10 minutes on that call, just meeting with Vito and Cindy and talking with them and hearing how much they cared, but also how much need there is for mental health in Berks County. I just knew right away that it was a match, that we needed to jump in there, we needed to help them, and we needed to find ways to get involved.
Awesome. So Nick didn't scare you guys away. So
No, not at all.
I mean, number one, we're honored. Number one, not just to be part of this podcast, but also to be a part of your fundraiser and that you picked us. We're sincerely honored, and we do definitely need the help.
Aw.
So, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
It's been hard. NAMI's been in Berks County since 1986.
Oh, wow.
But it's been a very small organization. And we came in about 3 years ago. And I have been in the mental health field for a long time. My husband was in the Marine Corps for 24 years. So I moved all over, exposed to all kind of different cultures. So this was just the next step in my life. Dealing with PTSD, trauma, everything that goes along with that. And then our friend here calls us, and it was very funny. It was like an automatic, like we had known each other forever.
Yep.
I mean, it was just, it clicked.
Oh, that's cool.
And he understood. He understood us. He understood our mission. And people, there's such a stigma against mental health. And it was funny, yesterday I've decided that we're not going to call it mental health. We talk about cancer as a disease. So why can't we say we have a mental disease?
True
Yeah,
statement.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
And it affects us all in one way or another. It affects whether it affects us and anybody who survived COVID. We'll have PTSD or anxiety. One day we were at work, the next day we were not. So it has really, wouldn't you say, Vito,
Absolutely.
grown?
Yeah, and I think experts believe we have not really seen the full extent of how the pandemic has affected the world's mental health.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
you
I
know,
agree with that.
It's going to be very interesting.
For me, it was like cabin fever. I just could not stay home. It was terrible.
It was,
yeah.
yes.
I had to come in the office. I was the only one in this building.
But for a lot of people, when you think about it that way, but you think about somebody who has a mental disease and they already like to isolate. They already have anxiety about going to work and being around people, and then you give them that opportunity and you shut everything down for a year. They're in their space.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then everything opens back up and it's like, now you've got to
Right.
go, and they're like,
The world goes back to moving, and you're like, what is going on? Yeah.
exactly. And think
No.
about kids. I
Yeah.
mean, the ones that were in high school getting ready to graduate.
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
the
Because a
ones-
lot of them didn't get to graduate. They had to
Or
do
have
it
their
virtually and
prom.
stuff. Yeah.
And
Yes.
all that fun stuff
Yeah.
as a child they missed.
Yeah.
So I think, and Cindy started to expand on this. You know, when someone has cancer, diabetes, any major health crisis, you tell your neighbors, and your neighbors stop by with a casserole.
Yeah.
And what can we do to help? But if someone is suffering from schizophrenia, even major depressive disorder,
It's almost like
you
a
don't get those
the
no casserole.
stigma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you hear the crickets.
Yep.
And exactly.
The stigma is still there of like you can't have those kinds of emotions and have those kinds of conversations. But yeah, well, I'm really glad you guys are doing what you're doing. So like, what is your mission statement? So like, what is NAMI?
What is NAMI?
Yeah.
Can we just do a real quick history on
Heck
the
yeah.
Oh my
Go
God,
ahead, for
absolutely.
sure.
The National Alliance on Mental Illness started back in 1979.
76.
Okay.
Well,
One of
you say
those-
so. We'll
yeah.
disagree to agree.
It was just a couple of mothers in Wisconsin sitting around their kitchen table. They both had children who had schizophrenia. How do we help each other?
Oh.
And from there to today, we now have 600 affiliates around the country and in some other countries. There is a NAMI state organization in each state of the United States.
Oh, cool.
And then, so we're almost like a government thing. So we're
Yeah.
NAMI Berks County. We report to NAMI Keystone, which is out in Pittsburgh, and the state affiliates then report to national, which is outside Washington.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yes. So really, how it started off with just family members supporting each other, and that's our initial group, our support group, which is our family support group. So we say we support, educate, and advocate. So by supporting, we run support groups for those that are suffering, like myself, and also for family members who are dealing with a loved one who is suffering. We also run education classes, one for those that are suffering and one for family members. And we also advocate, which means, and this one Cindy advocates so well for everyone and anyone, whether it be housing, food, finding a doctor, getting medication.
Those resources that are so important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we do that all for free.
Oh,
Nothing.
yeah.
We do not charge insurances. We do not charge individuals. So we deal mainly with funding that comes in. We get some county funding. We get some small grants around the year. But
Yeah. Nick, do you want to tell us about how you got paired and the
please.
funding you're supporting?
Yes, absolutely. So when we were discussing, ways that we could help and their need for funding, the idea of the bingo event came up. And last year we did our fundraiser for American Cancer Society for the Relay for Life. And the bingo itself, the event was such a hit, and we were able to raise a good amount of money. I'd say on upwards of $4,000. And that was just, from packing that room and getting the community together and having an absolute blast. And even the staff just had so much fun. And I thought, these two are the perfect people to bring in. NAMI Berks is the perfect group to back that up and have our second annual and just knock it out of the park with them.
That's awesome.
And I know we're going to do it even bigger and better than last year. And so
who doesn't love yelling bingo?
I know.
That is the ultimate,
know.
I won, I'm the winner, you guys all, no, I won.
It gets competitive, though.
Everybody's
It gets
talking about it.
competitive.
Before we come over here today, a couple of the ladies walked in and they were like, "Where's this bingo at? How do I get the tickets? What
Yeah.
do we need to do?" I'm gonna tell my friend down the. I said it's next week, so everybody needs
Yep.
to jump on board. And they're excited, but then they come back because we literally everything we do. When I say we don't charge, we don't
Yeah.
charge. We scrape the barrel to
Sounds like
just
it.
keep our salaries
Yeah.
where we can work.
Yeah, you guys need the support. You need the help. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And when they found out that Riverfront was putting this on and that this money was coming to us, they were like, "This is amazing. Like, where's this place at? I've never heard of it. How do I start my banking there?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Because these are family members that have loved ones that are sick and they never want to see us shut the door.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes to support us, it's supporting them, and they're like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
So-
sure Tim loves to hear that because
think
he's all
Joel
about the
will-
community aspect.
We'll
So
put up at the end of the podcast how to jump online and join.
yeah.
Join NAMI
Yeah.
or the bingo? Or both?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you really don't understand, but when you help a small organization that I forgot how many we run, there's literally 2 full-time and
Yeah.
we have 2 part-time people.
Oh, wow.
We run 19 classes.
19 support groups each month.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
When Cindy took over 3 years ago, and happens to be in April of 3 years ago that she started, NAMI Berks was running 3 support groups a month. And now we're running 19 a month. When she started, we were reaching 180 people a year. Last year, we reached 1,900 people.
Wow. That's
Wow.
amazing.
That is a lot
So
of people. Wow.
there's a need for it out there. Being a small nonprofit, we don't have that advertising budget to
Really.
We don't
yeah.
have a budget.
Yeah.
to spread the word. So the majority of our growth has been Cindy and I just pounding the pavements, and you get one person in and they see what these groups can do for you. They bring another person in.
Yeah.
And that's how we've grown.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
been wonderful.
So you said, how does an individual approach you guys or how does that work out? How's that whole process?
It's that can be so strange.
A lot of times we work very closely with the local providers, so the therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists in the area. They do know what we do and they support us. And while I'll speak for myself, I do suffer from severe depression, anxiety, PTSD. Going to these groups, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
The first group I went to was actually 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. I was, for the third time in my life, I was severely suicidal. I had a plan this time, and it was going. And I walked by a church, and I saw a NAMI sign. Heard of NAMI before. They deal with mental health. Let me go in and see. They talked me into going to their support group, which we call Connections.
Okay.
And for the first time in my life, and I'm past my prime, I felt accepted. I told my story, and everyone around the table were shaking their heads, and I was floored. You understand this? You know why I don't want to live? You know why I can't get out of bed in the morning? And from there, my mental health journey has blossomed. I became a facilitator for these groups shortly after that. Cindy came on board. She met me. I wonder why, but she hired me. And we've been, as she likes to say, rocking and rolling ever since.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
So
and we get a lot, not to interrupt, but
No, go ahead.
I don't know if y'all have heard of CIT.
not at all.
CIT is a crisis intervention team.
Oh yeah.
I
Yep.
would
Yep.
hope you would
So
know
you've
that.
heard of it?
Yes,
Well,
yes.
She's the mayor of
West Reading.
Oh, well, you would know. Okay.
Yes.
So we work with them.
So the
Oh, that's
crisis intervention
awesome.
team is a training program for first responders,
Yep.
especially police officers,
Okay.
of how to deal with a mental health crisis properly.
Yes.
We
Which is
hear-
incredibly important.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes, I'm
we,
glad you know about it.
we hear a lot, and it is unfortunately a real thing, suicide by cop.
Yes.
And, we had a instance of this in the city a year and a half ago, where a man who is in crisis does want to die, and he provokes an officer to do that.
Yeah.
And
Knowing how to respond is so important,
Yes.
and that de-escalation is so important. And I mean, I think we hear it all the time with like mental health situations.
Yes.
Is like when it gets to that crisis level, the thinking and the logic just isn't there anymore. So having supportive hands and supportive people around you is the most important thing, because after, I mean, there's been studies that have showed like
Yes.
people that try to do that, like and make it through, they realize like, oh, that's not what they wanted to do. I mean, what was the guy that he jumped off the bridge?
Oh,
And he realized halfway down that his problem
What's his
wasn't that
name?
bad, but he survived
Kevin
somehow.
Hines.
he's coming back to Reading.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal
Yes.
story.
So Kevin Hines is a nationwide advocate now
Yes.
for mental health.
Yeah.
He did. He had bipolar disorder. He was multiple times in the hospital, multiple times of trying to commit suicide,
Yeah.
and he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge.
That's right. Yeah.
The minute his foot left the bridge, he said, "God, I'm sorry, I didn't want to do this,"
Yep.
and he survived.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
the story is in depth, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's much more detailed, but it's like even just listening to him speak, you can tell like he just has like a renowned like respect for life. Yeah.
And his wife. I mean,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
both phenomenal.
absolutely.
He broke every bone
Yeah.
in his
I can
body.
imagine.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a long drop.
Yeah, it was bad.
And he thought a shark was trying to eat him.
Oh, geez.
That was swimming around him, but it was sea lions
It was a sea lion keeping him afloat.
keeping him afloat
Oh,
because he
wow.
couldn't. And the Coast Guard just
That's
happened to
great.
be right there.
Everything was like perfect
Yes.
timing. Yeah.
And he'll say it was God
Mm-hmm.
because it could not have
We serve
happened.
a mighty God.
Yeah, any other
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Because I think there's 20 people that have
36 people have
have lived.
survived
Yeah.
jumping off that bridge with
Yeah.
thousands dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's terrible.
But he caused them to get, now you can't jump.
Because there's like nets or
Yes.
something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. But he'll be back in Reading
Oh, that's great.
I think it's this month,
May.
May.
Oh, that's
he'll be here
awesome.
with
Maybe
the
we can get him
school.
on the
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah, and you know it.
You know
Yeah.
what?
He
We can
would
work that
be
out for you.
fantastic.
Oh,
That
wow.
would be phenomenal.
But getting back to your original question of how do people find us?
Yes.
So yes, working with the providers, word of mouth.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's how you got into it.
Exactly,
Just putting out a
exactly.
sign. You just kind of walked in.
social media
Yes.
is another big
And you
thing
guys
today.
do have a Facebook page.
Mhm.
And do you have an Instagram?
Yes, we do.
And I did check your website. You guys recently just moved a location too, right?
Yes, we did.
Congratulations on
Great
that.
job, Sam.
Yes.
So our main office is in Center City, Reading, on 640 Walnut Street, and we are, because we have so many groups, we do have to separate them. We have some clientele or consumers that don't want to come into the city, and vice versa. So we have a presence out in the outer suburbs.
That's
that's
awesome.
cool.
Reading, yeah.
That's
That
really
is cool.
cool.
And if we're trying to open up into wider parts of the county,
Yes.
like out in Burnville, out in Hamburg.
Boyertown,
Which I-
those far to reach
Oh,
places.
sorry. I also saw you guys have those cards, which are phenomenal. You should definitely give those to like the fire departments and the police departments because that's a phenomenal idea. I loved, like, we were just talking about de-escalation. So these cards have like kind of what the person might be thinking and how you can respond in the time of crisis and such. So like it just great resource
Well,
right there.
in May, if you like, because CIT,
Yeah.
there's another class in May.
Yeah.
And it's a 40-hour class. We do
On Wednesday afternoons,
We do a
a
train.
lunch
Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
for them, and they come to our office so they can see what we do.
Yeah.
And we
When you say them, who is
I'm
them?
sorry, the CIT participants,
all
which
Okay.
are
the
the
first responders.
Yes.
Okay.
the majority should be police officers and
Yeah.
firemen.
Okay.
Even park rangers have been
Ambulance,
coming.
yes.
Which it's so important to not only get them that training, but also make sure that they know that it's there. Because
Yes.
I've never seen a more stubborn group of human beings.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
They go through so much stuff and then they'll just be like, no, it's fine. And I'm just like, really? Because, geez. But yeah, so thank you guys for continuing to do this and doing what you're doing. Because it really, in a world that the stigma's finally kind of coming off,
Yes.
I think people are really recognizing how important these conversations and these resources are.
Absolutely.
And the more we have
Yeah.
conversations like this,
Yes. Yeah.
and the word gets out there, to me, it just softens the world
Yes,
for
yeah.
everybody. It's like it's okay.
Especially because of, like Vito said, the understanding that you're not alone. Because I think like when you're going through that severe depression or anxiety, like you think, oh, I'm the only one that could possibly feel like this. Your world feels so small. So like having those resources and these conversations and people listening to them, you're like, oh, okay, so I'm not the weird one. Everything's
you said it.
we're all weird. Like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
okay.
I hate to even say this, but it's true not just for myself, but for the majority of our consumers that come to our support groups is I would rather go to my support group, a NAMI Connection support group, than sit with my psychologist,
Yeah.
my therapist, and most importantly, my psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Because they know the medical ends of it.
Yes.
Political.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
Political.
don't know the real feelings and what it feels like to be depressed and what your world looks like when
Yeah.
you're depressed. It's black and white and dark.
Yeah.
You do not see any color.
It's hard to describe it in a clinical sense. So I can definitely relate and understand that. Like when talking to somebody that has gone through it, you're like, oh, okay, this is normal. But when talking to like a therapist, you're kind of almost trying to explain and describe the situation, which is hard in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Tell me if this is true or not. I had someone explain it to me as if having a song stuck in your head, for a normal person, like if I have a song stuck in my head and they just can't get that song out of my head, but then after it wears out and then maybe I'll hear it again or something. Is that the feeling? Is that...
That sounds
Is
like
that-
ADHD.
I was going to say the same thing, but it was like, nope.
For me, it's the constant putting myself down, finding fault in myself, and accepting that's who I am. So I sit isolated in my room, and I literally feel like I'm at the bottom of a pit. There's darkness all around me, and when I'm really bad, I'm okay. This is where I'm comfortable because I was 10 when my depression started. It wasn't until I was 47 that it was diagnosed.
So this whole thing for you and what you're doing is like, it really is kind of like a life mission almost
it
because
has
like you've
turned into-
lived it and you
yes.
just want to,
Yeah.
that's really great. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Oh, well,
like
thank
you,
you.
both of
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
It's just, you got to love this.
Yeah.
You really have to, or you can't.
Well,
do
and
it.
you also need to understand it, I think. And I think that's where like the perspective that you're bringing is such an understanding perspective because you've been through it. So you are a safe space for people that have gone through that.
Right. And now I can run these groups and they know I'm not a therapist. I'm not a professional.
You're relatable.
I am a person just like you.
Yeah.
Not a threat.
Well, thank you, Nick, for finding these guys.
And I have to jump in and say something. So
Yeah.
just coming from my own personal background, just sitting next to Cindy and listening to Vito talk makes me feel like I'm home.
Aw.
So I just wanted
Yes.
to say, like,
Yes, thank you guys.
like
I
that's
just,
a
you guys
very
are going to get a
calming
hug. Nick's a
feeling.
hugger.
And this,
So I don't
this is
know.
what
You're going to get
when
hugged
we
after
have
this.
support groups. This is what it's. This is kind of like a support group where you can share your feelings
Aw.
and be safe and be
That's
okay.
awesome.
Because the one thing all humans need is to feel safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
in this marketing department, a lot of feelings are shared all the time.
Yes.
I
all
can
these-
see that.
With and without
Whether we
explanation.
like them or not, we're
You
always
ask
sharing
for-
it.
whether you ask for help or not.
Yep, you're gonna get it.
So, I'm a listener. I just heard this podcast. How do I get a hold of you?
Great question. So our main number is 610-685-3000. You could call that number day or night. If we don't pick up, leave a message. We'll get right back to you. We are also on the internet. Our website is www.NAMI, N-A-M-I, Berks, B-E-R-K-S, PA.org.
Okay.
And then our social media is all from there. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram,
Awesome.
one other one. I don't even know.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah. Google
Do
Nominee
you
Berks
have a
PA.
crisis line, or do you have
No.
a direction towards the area crisis
Yes,
line?
when you call our number and you get the voicemail, we do ask you if it is a mental health crisis, call Holcomb
Yep.
or 988, which is a new
Yes.
number.
Across the board, which I
Across the
think was a phenomenal decision.
Yes,
if we can get
very.
it up running,
Mm-hmm.
and again,
Like
get the
anything,
money.
anything
Yep.
new, it takes
Yep,
time to
takes
get,
a little bit,
get
yeah.
working right. And we also have people that just stop in our office. They know where we're at. They
Nice.
know what we do. They stop in. I'm not feeling good today. No,
Yeah.
we're not therapists,
Good.
Right.
but
They feel safe.
Yeah.
Yep.
they feel safe with Cindy, and
Yeah.
Cindy is just a wonderful wealth of information and compassion and
Aw.
love. And
Do
just
you want to raise or what?
I want to raise. Just and whether you keep this in the podcast or not, but this is a story. For the past 3 weeks, we have been dealing with we've been dealing with this consumer for the past year and a half. Past 3 weeks, this consumer has taken off out of a homeless shelter in Reading. She is severely schizophrenic. She's actually suffering from a UTI, which is
Oh, yeah,
not
that's
being
dangerous
treated.
in itself. Yeah.
For the past 3 weeks, Cindy and I have been walking the streets of Reading looking for her.
In and out of places you really shouldn't go.
Yeah, especially you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aw.
We got a tip at 11 o'clock this morning where she was. We ran down to get her.
Ran.
Oh, gosh.
Holcomb, which is the crisis company for Berks County, came out, and we needed to what we call 302, which is she needed to be forcibly put in the hospital so she could get her mental health right.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we're talking to her, she kind of realizes what's going on. She takes off.
He doesn't bat an eye. He's just like, whoop.
Runs after.
I ran
He
after
did.
her for about 5-6 blocks.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
no, it was more than that because I'm trying to
geez.
track him, and it's like,
Oh, my
She's
gosh.
lagging behind. No, long story short, we got her back to our office, and Holcomb met us there, and they
Okay.
took her to the hospital. And she is getting the help right now that she severely needs. And without what Cindy has done for not only this consumer, but also for her mother, it's why we are growing the way we're growing. It's
awesome.
fascinating, and I'm so proud to be a part of this.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
you got to
Thank you.
remember, it's not just the person with the mental disease. It affects their whole family,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
all their loved ones. It is a constant turmoil. When is the next shoe going to fall? are they going to die? I thought today she was going in front of the bus.
Oh.
Aw.
And it wasn't. She was trying to get on the bus, and Vito was trying to tell the bus just to keep going.
Yeah.
So you have to see some humor in everything we do.
Yeah.
Or yeah, if not, then we would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would be up
Yeah.
there like,
Oh, I
Uh-huh.
100% understand that.
Well, Nick, do you want to talk about how you can the bingo event, how you can get tickets, what we're doing, maybe promote a little bit for the listeners?
Sure, absolutely. So we still have tickets on sale. We're doing a great job getting them sold. Tickets will be $25 if you pre-order them. They will be $30 at the door. We will have some at the door. The bingo event will be held at the Lincoln Park Fire Company, April 18th. That's Good Friday, coming up next week here. Doors open at 4:30, and then 5 o'clock is actually, sorry, let me repeat that. We're going to be there setting up from 4 to 5, and then doors should open at 5 o'clock to get everybody in and get everybody sat. There will be food there. NAMI Berks will also be joining us, and so please come get some information. If you'd like to pre-purchase your tickets, you can purchase them at riverfrontfcu.org. Do we have a forward
We
slash?
do have a Facebook. So if you
Thank
go
you.
to Riverfront Facebook and go to our events, we have the bingo event on our Facebook event, and you can buy tickets right online, or you
Right.
can come to our office on Kaiser Boulevard.
And that same post that you put, we put on our
Thank
Facebook,
you.
so they could do either
Yeah.
website.
There's also going to be raffles there too, guys. So if you're not biggest into bingo and you want to get possible raffle prize, we have tons of great raffle prizes. And we're really excited to see you guys there.
Awesome. So
And
is there,
those that are asking how to join Riverfront Federal Credit Union, go to the same website,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
riverfrontfcu.org, and from there you can figure out how to join the credit union.
Okay, thank
Awesome.
you,
That's what I was
because
hoping.
it's a big,
Yes.
that's a big, people love
Yeah.
that when you give to the community.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because these people don't have insurance,
And
a lot of
that's
them.
and that's what our credit unions do. Like that's what we do here, especially like with Riverfront. Where our biggest thing is like we want to support our community. So when you bank with us, like you know where your money is, you know where it's going, and we're putting it back into the community. That's our biggest, Tim's biggest baby. Like and I'm thankfully, that's part of the reason I took this job is just the community aspect of this position and this company. I haven't seen one that's been like this. So thank you, Tim.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it's not me; it's everybody. And,
Yeah.
and I can tell you this: the credit union movement, the credit union industry. It's not just us. We all follow an old saying that started with the credit union industry. We are people helping people.
That's absolutely, and that's what we do.
And I've always said I think it's the number one bullet point in my job description is to help us, cause us, move us towards living our original charter mission, and that's people helping people.
And how long, if you don't mind me asking, how long has a credit union been around?
This credit union's been here since 1948.
And how did the credit unions get started, period?
Oh Lord, I mean you're don't put me on the spot or nothing, Cindy.
I'm sorry, you know how it
Ours
works
ours started with the railroad.
Southerners.
Ours
Yeah.
particularly started with the railroad.
That's ours did.
Yeah,
Ours
ours
But
did,
you have
but-
to go all the way back to the late 1800s.
Okay.
Overseas, and I think in England,
Okay.
it was where the first credit union basically was established, and then it moved over here shortly after. So that's for a podcast at another time.
Yeah, we'll have
Okay.
to
See
we'll
how
have
I
to do
got out
one
of
like
that
that.
I'm
Yeah.
interested in this.
I'm
mean,
writing that down right now. Future podcast. Where do credit unions come from?
This is just, it makes you feel good. This is a feel, even walking in here was a feel good. It's the first time I've been here, and I was
Aw.
amazed. It wasn't like any place else I've been.
Awesome. Thank you.
Shout out to Queen's
Mission
Cafe.
accomplished.
Yes.
Bank and eat at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's
And
true.
members get a free coffee. So
Really?
yes.
You know what? I'm changing.
Yeah.
Not as much coffee as you drink, though.
Yeah.
And that's another point, Cindy. That we're member owned, so that's how the federal credit union or credit union, if you're not federal, came about.
Okay.
And that again, that was all the way back to the original aspect of the credit union movement. But it was where people, common people, everyday people, put their money together. So that they could take that money and loan it out to people that were on hard times and that earning meager means and things of that nature, so that they could help their own
people.
and then it just moved into this. However, while many things have changed,
Yes.
Modernization and all that stuff, we have lights and things of that nature. We have running water, indoor toilets, things of that thing.
We have heat today.
Things such
Yeah,
as that.
thankfully.
We're still member owned. We still are governed by our members. So our board of directors, they're all volunteers. They don't get paid.
Okay.
They're all volunteers, and they are all from the membership of the credit union. Now, anybody that lives, works, worships, attends school, or does business in Berks County is eligible to become an owner member or member owner of this credit union.
Oh.
Yeah, because some credit unions you have to be part of, like a union or
A
something.
union
right?
or a particular
Yep.
employee group. We elected at some point in the past to go community charter, meaning that anybody that lives, works, worships, attends school, or does business in Berks County,
Yeah.
or if you're related to someone
in Berks
in
County.
Berks
Yeah.
County. It kind of goes on from there, but there's other opportunities to where just about anyone that you're going to meet would
be a
qualify to join Riverfront Federal Credit Union.
So what I'm hearing is kind of what we believe. It's not about I.
Nope.
Yep.
It's about we.
Yes.
And
Yep.
we pull each other up. We help each other. I can't do it by myself.
Yes.
I need the community.
Yeah.
So you're kind of on the same. No, we are on the same page.
We are on the same page.
Yeah. It's just different ways of how
Yes.
we're helping the community. So this is
Yes.
a perfect mesh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, Cindy. Another aspect of the credit union movement is we have another saying: it's once a member, always a member. So if you were to become a member and then you move off somewhere like to the West Coast, even all the way across the country, and you stop using us, as long as you're still a member, you can call us up anytime you want. You're still a member. You can still do whatever you want to do.
Oh, really?
You can. I look at it the same way with those we serve and those that we partner with, such as benefactors of our community engagement, such as you. So now the way I look at it, NAMI
We're going to be partners.
you'll always be
Yeah.
a member. You'll
That's-
always be an aspect that we look to support.
It's kind of like being a family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you get that feeling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Right.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you.
Interesting. Thank you
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank
our
you guys
pleasure.
for coming.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
for having us. This
Thank
has
you
been
very
enjoyable.
much for coming. We're
And
gonna
I hope to see you all and everybody else that's listening at the bingo event.
Yeah.
next Friday.
most definitely, most
Yep.
definitely, most definitely.
You're going to dress up like an Easter rabbit, right?
I would like to, but
Cindy,
but
Hold
what
on,
would
there
you
was
like
an
him to
Easter
do?
bunny thing going on.
Yeah, we can hook that up
You can,
Yeah.
you can get dressed up like an Easter bunny.
with bells on.
You know, my early years here, I was actually the Easter bunny,
Yep.
and I'm a pretty big guy, so I was sitting there in the Easter bunny outfit, and there was a couple of ladies eating cupcakes, and they were like, "You know that bunny? I think he's been into these cupcakes too much."
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
No.
they couldn't see me, but I was smiling and waving at them. Thank you, ladies.
Made my day today.
Yeah,
gosh.
it was funny.
We've
So
done
that-
some pretty crazy stuff here.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah, some
gosh.
funny stuff. So, Nick, any final thoughts?
just that I'm so grateful to have met you guys. Really, you have no idea how much it means to me, and I don't want to tear up. I'm not crying. You're crying. You know.
There's no
but
crying in
seriously.
baseball.
All right. All right.
But there is a mental health.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I'm just really looking forward to this event and really making it a hit for you guys. And I'm just, again, so grateful that you're here.
And the
Yes.
feeling's mutual. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank
This
you.
has been a pleasure.
Tony, anything you want to say?
Vito, Cindy, thank you for doing what you're doing with the community, and you are changing lives. So
Thank you.
we thank you.
It means a lot.
Thank you. Yes.
Sam?
Thanks for being here, and thanks for doing everything that you're doing. It's so important to the community, as I can say in this role and any other role. Thank you so much for doing it, and we really do appreciate you.
Thank you.
Tim, any final words?
Yeah, Cindy and Vito, very nice meeting you, and greatly appreciate what you do every day. for the mental health of our community. It is very awesome. Thank you for coming into our world and giving us an opportunity to be, while it'll be a small part of what you guys do, but it will be a part.
Yes.
And we look forward to growing that.
Me too.
And I can tell you, because I am the boss, anytime you need us to do anything, as long as we're qualified and it's allowable for us to do, we will be here to help you.
Thank you.
You're
That
good
means
hands.
a lot, just to know we have support.
Yep.
Thank you.
I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. You got
That's
this.
okay.
We believe in you.
I still have a little
We believe in
PTSD.
you.
I have some PTSD going on with that bunny costume and the cupcakes.
Surprised those ladies didn't get the old one too.
I know. Well, on that note, if you want to make your life easier, keep following the current.